Hi guys, Ursa Dia here, and I am back with another Otomania. This one is the first one of 2021, and I'm super excited. It is going to be released a little bit later than normal, just because my family has been really sick. We ended up getting the coronavirus, but most of us are pretty good at this point, and so if you hear coughing in the background, that's just what it is. Um, but I am feeling well enough to actually get a video out, so this is the first Otomania video of 2021, and I'm excited because it's a new year, so new Otomes. This is one that is pretty popular. It recently got an anime in the summer of 2020, and it is one that I feel like I've talked about it on this channel, but I don't remember if I have. But it is one that I got ads for before it was released and signed up to get notified when it was released, and I don't know if I like missed the notification or whatever, but I ended up not getting it when it was released. And then when I found out that it was released, I was just kind of like, and like never actually like went forward and like downloaded it. But because it has become super, super popular, which I was kind of expecting and not really expecting, but it became even more so popular that like it got an anime and the anime made it more popular. And so I have not seen the anime, I've not played the game. I know very, very little about the characters because I've really just tried to avoid things. And so we are going to play Mr. Love's Queen Choice. So let's bring this up. This is the first time I've opened the app. It has some really pretty piano music playing, so I really, really enjoyed that. And right on the front, you can see like 4 guys. I know one of them's an idol. I think the blonde one's an idol. There's some dude who I think is named Lucian. I could be wrong on that. And somebody is super rich and is often compared to Jimin Han from Mystic Messenger, so I'm really interested to see like who he is. Jimin was not my favorite Mystic Messenger character, but I do appreciate the grind and the rich aesthetic. So let's see how this is. I don't like how if you log in through Facebook, it puts your name on it. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Beep! On a summer day, the grass is as green. Oh, I did not have time to read that. Too late, she get hit. The little girl crouched and... Oh, I should have turned off notifications. So, it was a warm embrace. This is not off to a great start. She opened her eyes. Raindrops still hang in the air. A boy holding her in his arms as if it's a dream. Who are you? Okay. I don't like at the start when like they make it seem like as if it's like an intro song or something by having like lots of fast graphics, but it's actually just part of like the storyline, because if you're not expecting it, like I just missed that entire thing because I was not expecting it to cycle through so fast. So now I'm not gonna know what happens until I go through and I edit this video. Especially because I got a notification as it started, so I was not ready to start reading. So that I don't enjoy that. I feel like this is the second game. I feel like the Dangerous Fellows game, or one of the other games that I've played on here, did something similar, but they made theirs more into what led into the opening, so it was like slightly better. But it's like either just put an opening song or like have it so you click through, because if you're not a fast reader, or like my main struggle is I have cracks all on the screen of my iPod. Like you can see that. So like I have to try to read through the cracks. So it's like asking me to do that, and it looked like there was a grammar error because it looked like it said grass apostrophe RE, which is not a word. Um Or maybe it was like greener or something. Like, I think it's supposed to be the grass is greener, but I don't think it was translated right, or at least copy edited correctly. So I right off the bat, I don't like that, because now I understand that a little girl almost got hit by a car, but I don't understand what caused that to happen. So, me. I've been dreaming about this accident that happened when I was 5 years old. After 17 years, the memory is still so vivid, like it happened only yesterday. So we are 22. Yes. Sorry, mental math is not my strong suit. Who's the boy that saved me? Who could it be? Ring, ring, ring. The sound of the phone ringing drags me back to reality. Hello? Anna, calm down. Speak slowly. What? LFG is withdrawing the investment? I hurriedly packed my stuff up and rushed off to LFG. I'm the 22. Okay, we are 22. I'm the 22-year-old owner of a media studio and the producer of its flagship program. Dude, at 22, if we own our own media production company, like, that's pretty good. Like, that's fresh out of college. Like, who died to make this possible? The studio is just barely scraping by on the back of that old show. Not long ago, the studio's sole investor was acquired by the giant Loveland Financial Group. Once LFG withdraws funding, the studio is sure to face bankruptcy. Outside the office of LFG's CEO.
I've told you no. The CEO is very
Okay, this has English voice acting, and I was not expecting that. Oh my god. President Assistant. I told you no. The CEO is very busy. Please run along back to where you came from. Literally, like, I know we're like fresh out of college, but did we really think we could meet with a CEO without an appointment? Like, I don't get why people think that's a thing. Like, they have busy schedules. They're CEOs for reasons. Like, they have meetings. Like, schedule a meeting. This funding is too important for us. I have to talk to the CEO. The ratings for our show Miracle Finder have always been steady. Yes, steady at the bottom. It's the age of science. Who would believe in that superpower nonsense? Instead of innovating, you stick with such an old-fashioned show. No wonder you're losing funding. Yeah, if we're only running one show and it's getting decent ratings, like, it makes sense that they would drop you. The president's assistant picked up the phone. Hello, reception? In the future, could you please not let random people into the CEO's office? Yeah, you have to wonder how we get past security without a meeting. Like, because first of all, security should have stopped you. Second of all, the receptionist should have stopped you. There shouldn't be a way for us to have snuck up to the CEO's office. But what? The reason your old sponsor got bought out by us is precisely because they kept investing in a studio like yours. Since you're here, you can sign the investment withdrawal agreement. Save some time for the both of us. I almost read for the bottom of us. Sign the agreement and we can still fund the last episode of Miracle Finder. Here, sign. He just has the papers drawn up. Ooh, we're given our first choice. So I know that they're probably saying, don't sign, but it would make more sense to have them fund the last episode, whereas if we don't sign it, it's going to cause lots of issues, and they might not fund the last episode, which would leave the show incomplete. I feel like this is not the right choice, but I'm gonna sign the agreement. Like, we've done some stupid shit. The least we can do is sign the agreement. Do I? Like, I know this is a mobile otome, so it's like not gonna just stop it here. Like, if this was definitely like an A grade, like computer one, if I hit sign, like said and done, like low key, like that could just be an ending. Like, they could stop the game right there. Because this is a mobile otome, I don't think they'll do that. But I'm low key worried about the repercussions of whether or not I do sign versus whether or not I don't. You know what? I'm gonna go with what the game probably wants me to do, and I'm gonna say I'm not gonna sign it. Because I'm gonna hope that it's going to have a schedule and an appointment with the CEO. I'm kind of going off the basis that I think the CEO for this company is one of the guys you can date, but I'm not 100% sure. So maybe this was the wrong choice, but I'm assuming if we don't sign, we might have a chance to meet with him. Let's go with that logic. I refuse.
I'm sorry, but you have no right
I'm
to
sorry,
refuse.
but you have no right to refuse. I mean, I can refuse signing it right now. Like, that's not what I came here for. Like, legally, like, is it okay to sign that without a lawyer present? Like, I don't know this. Like, I'm not a business major. I did not go to school for this. Also, we are clearly standing in the middle of the hallway. How does he have this paper drawn up already? Or on hand? The president's assistant placed the agreement in front of me. Or do you not want to make the final show? See, now it seems like we should have just signed it. Now I feel kind of bad. Now it seems I don't have much choice. Okay, we are going to change the name. There we go. It was not popping up for a second. Does it just want a first name? I'm going with it just wanted a first name. They gave the example of Rose Miriam, which are two different first names, so I'm just going with my nickname. I feel like every single time I do one of these prologue playthroughs, I switch whether or not I use my like regular like nickname that I do for Otomes or if I use my username. So today we're going with my regular nickname. Will we use the studio? Tap 1-1 to continue. So I'm probably going to do a few of these just because I'm assuming that was the prologue, so this is like chapter 1.
Why did you just hang up on me this morning without letting me finish?
Oh, we hung up on her? You see, already I don't like this protagonist. Like, if you're going to do something stupid, at least get the information to back your decision. Because if not, you're just going to look like an idiot. Rissa, why did you hang up on me this morning without letting me finish? I stood at the gate of LFG and answered the call in frustration. You're at LFG, aren't you? Yep. Yes, but to no avail. I signed the investment withdrawal agreement. I seemed to be able to see Anna on the other line, petrified. Well, yeah. Like, I don't care if you're the owner. Like, if you do something stupid, like, you're gonna do something stupid. Like, she should have, let her friend finish explaining the situation instead of hanging up and rushing off and trying to speak with the CEO who's clearly not able to speak with her because he's busy and we didn't make an appointment. But then we were essentially forced to sign the agreement without legal representation, without discussing the terms and agreements, and a lot faster than if we had made an appointment, because then we would have had more time to figure out what the hell to do. Instead, we sped up the process. Why? Because we're an idiot. And this is what we call a protagonist that I do not like. So you know what? She has every right to be mad at us. Did you meet the CEO of LFG, Victor? No, I couldn't even get past his assistant because we didn't make an appointment. All we have now is one last episode of Miracle Finder. Oh, still, they probably spared you some heartache. I heard the CEO is a real terror. Really, because I've heard that he's pretty hot. If you met him today, I doubt we'd even have a final episode to make. I mean, it seems like the final episode at the very least was already drawn into the contract. So I don't know if us meeting with him, if he would be allowed to change that if the papers are already drawn up. Yes, he could draw up more papers, but that would cause more of a hassle, so we'd probably have at least the upper hand on that fact. Yet again, I'm not a business major. I'm completely making up my knowledge on whether or not this is how, like, legal, like, agreements work, but, like, it makes sense that that would be how it worked. Hearing those words, somehow a gangster boss image popped in my head like in The Godfather. Why would that be the image in your head? I would just see, like, an old man who, like, doesn't pay attention to his children. Like, if you tell me, like, hard-ass CEO, I'm thinking, like, really rich guy who, like, only cares about having an heir but doesn't actually care about said heir. Like, that's what I think about. Really? Of course, you're still so green. You have a lot to learn. This Victor is a legend in finance. I mean,
Financial Group was founded 8 years ago, and it's the industry leader today. Really incredible.
how old is this dude? He's got to be probably 28 to 30 then. That's really young to make it to CEO. Loveline Financial Group was founded 8 years ago, and it's the industry leader. Really incredible. How did they manage that? Nobody knows. Some invisible tycoon probably pulling the strings behind the scenes. No matter who's pulling the strings, they're pulling our funding. And whose fault is that? Ours.
We can't complain, really.
We can't complain, really. The show doesn't have much of an audience anyways. Yeah, why are we not running another show?
When your dad was still around, it was really popular.
When your dad was still around, it was really popular. Maybe the culture's just moved on. Anna, you practically ran everything for 2 years after Dad passed away. We owe you a lot. Just doing my job, and I didn't do it well. Just trying to keep the lights on until you graduated and could take it over. So quite literally, like at the start when I said who died and made us the head of a production company, it was our father. I hope this isn't one of the things where he's like super in debt and we have to pay it off, because that's what happened in A3 and I couldn't get like far enough to see if we actually paid it off. But I do believe that like the guy who like we owe the money to does end up joining the theater troupe. I don't know, A3 was very, very weird. I like played it, but I don't understand how to play it. But that's a story for a different day. Right now we're playing this. I still remember the promise with Dad when I was a kid. We will make the best show in the world. Anna, though it sounds unrealistic, I don't want to give up. I just can't give up this dream Dad built for me. Just then, a scream drew my attention.
Look, that's him! My lifelong idol.
Okay, wrong type of scream. I'm like thinking like accident. I'm like, oh no, like is a car about to crash in the building? I'm like, is there a terrorist? Like, what's happening? And then I heard the voice actor who was like, ah! And I was like, that does not sound like you're about to be hit by a car. Ah, look at him, my lifelong idol, my one and only Kiro. Where? Let me see. Just one look and you fall in love? Seriously? I like how it says passerby maiden be. I love the word maiden being used in like modern day context because it's really not. And so I just really like the idea of like the like medieval like maiden concept but being like shoved onto like 21st contemporary girls, like because you don't really hear it being used that often, so I think it's funny. I like the word maiden. He does look really good. He kind of reminds me of Sho from like Utapri, so I feel like I'm already like low-key biased because like y'all know I love my Sho. Following the eyes of the girls, I saw the ad on the giant screen of Trade Tower. Oh, he's not even there in person.
When you were not aware of it.
He said something, but I spoke over the beginning. It's not saying what he said. Something about me not being aware of it. Superstar Kira. In concert, he exudes a glowing aura, attracting every girl that passes by.
My gosh, how handsome he is. He's glowing.
My gosh, how handsome he is. He's glowing. Ah, he's looking at me. I'm gonna cry. Girl, it's an ad. You need to chill out. He's looking at me, not you. You're a fan of his. Drop the act. Yet again, it's an ad on a building. He's not looking at either of you. He's looking at a camera. I'm dizzy. Kira must have the superpower to make everyone fall in love with him. He's just very charismatic. Actually, I do think that there are somehow superpowers in this game, and so I think that might legitimately be his superpower. So now you admit it. I thought you said before it was all nonsense. I'm a believer now. If superpowers really exist, then Kira's gotta have one. Okay, dry your eyes. Come on. The line for the album is getting longer by the minute. An idea pops into my mind, the perfect plan. Anna, I got a plan. You said before there are countless ways to get a show popular. How about for the last show we put everything we have into getting one giant superstar to come on? I looked at the radiant star on the screen. Let's invite Kiro. We got other. This is Anna, city woman. So I'm assuming that's a card. Try the best even if it's the final episode. Tap. Produce. Why would they? Okay. So company strength, decision, creativity, affinity, execution. Company strength determines basic score. Every step boosts the score. Reach the standard to finish the program. Oh. Coping with special events is one of the producer's jobs. The show's guest demands a bodyguard. What will you do with no staff? Despair. Appoint a crew member who's strong and smart. Convince her to not be so demanding. Appoint some random person. Appoint a crew member because you gotta, one, assure them, the guest, of their safety, but also you can't do that if you just hire a random person. It goes well. Voices that comfort me in tough time are from Karma. Tap to summon Karma. It's weird. Tap to choose the Karma you want. Oh, okay. You can summon at most 3 Karmas. So the Karmas are the cards. And their scores get added together. Karma praise encourages you to proceed. The score is greatly increased. Tap to continue. There's a price for everything in life. That's true. Nothing's free in life. Fate has decreed, just waiting for you. That's a weird sentence. But okay. Her outfit's cute. I would wear something like this. Granted, I have like this weird, a lot of my fashion, you guys, might notice it if you watch a lot of my, like, especially K-pop videos. I really like the aesthetic of, like, a spaghetti strap or a tank top and then an off-the-shoulder shirt. I own, like, 4 or 5 different, like, things at the very least that are, like, that style. Like, I even own sweaters that do that, which I love. So our score is 441. As long as there's a glimmer of hope, I will not give up. I will hang on. So, oh, and then they have like little fake comments. Not as good as before, still gets a like from me. Watching the show always brings up happy memories. I applaud the producer's determination. Let's go get over the hump. Congratulations, 3-crown rating for the program. The higher the score, the higher the rating. Tap any place to continue. To complete the shoot, to obtain company experience, golden items, which can improve strength. Tap end to finish. We got Karyu. Okay. So now we're gonna start this. So I think we're just gaining more people. New skill, new special event. Look closely at the description. There is a keyword, extrovert. Hold on the consultant's avatar to check the tag. Tap a consultant. Oh, okay, so that's how the tag pops up. I like his arm tats. I've been like super into the style of a guy with like longer hair that gets put back in a ponytail, like tank tap and like arm tats. I think it's because 1, Jungkook grew his hair out. 2, I just finished reading Midnight Poppyland. Highly recommend. Super good webtoon. And also like Beale from like Obey Me, like in his Human World thing, is now wearing a tank top with tats. So like, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying life. Arm tats and like man buns, they make a very good aesthetic. Networking. Some of those. Seems to be the same. We succeeded. Looks like this was like an ad. So it was for like a cake or something. Okay. So company upgrade. I'm sorry, if you're working at a company called BS Entertainment, how do you take anything seriously? How do you expect them to take you seriously? Is that just me? Like, I would not sign on to a company that's called BS Entertainment. Like, I would expect their entertainment to be mediocre at best. Look, miss, I'm sorry. If you want to book our client Kiro, just having money isn't enough. Almost every show wants us. We can only pick those with the highest audience ratings. That's understandable. But Miracle Finder was rated #1 2 years ago. You shouldn't add the 2 years ago. It's not helping your case. I was a fan of Miracle Finder too. What a pity that the previous producer passed away. I'm sorry, but business is business. I had to leave Kiro's agency. After the second swing and miss, I only felt more dejected. At least we got an actual meeting, because I highly doubt we actually tried to schedule a meeting. I'm definitely assuming that we just walked into the company and was like, hey, we want to book your client. The company's going under. I better just take the subway back instead of a cab. I would have been taking the subway instead of a cab regardless, just because it's cheaper. And honestly, with midday traffic, probably gets you there faster. On the way, I can buy some snacks and fruit to comfort the crew. A supermarket nearby. BS Entertainment. As I purchased my crew's favorite snacks, I rehearsed in my mind how to break the news to them. While lost in thought, a slender hand appeared in front of me. We grabbed the same bag of chips. I hate this cliche so much. It's so cringe. Like, does that actually happen to people? I don't know a single person who's accidentally like grabbed the same like snack or book or whatever it is and like actually fallen in love with the person. Like, if that ever happened to me, I'd be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, like take this, and then I would have just walked away from embarrassment and just not gotten whatever that was, unless it was something like I direly needed. I'd just be like, this is awkward, I don't like social interaction, here you go. Especially with COVID nowadays, like. I turned my head and the person beside me turned to look at me as well. I like his style. A smile was hidden deep in his deep eyes. I couldn't help but be attracted. That moment when you're just like about to freak out because of a celebrity, and then you're like, oh, actually, okay, I was thinking we probably like stopped ourselves because we were like, oh my god, celebrity, and then we're like, oh, we don't want to draw attention, but I'm pretty sure he probably went, oh, so that we'd shut up and not like ruin things for him. Yeah, there we go. We're not the smartest person. Kira suddenly covered my mouth with his hand and glanced around. His smiling eyes told me he's not angry at all about my impulsiveness. That's probably because he deals with it on daily, like this poor kid. Shh, I don't want to get noticed. I nodded. Our little scene seems to have drawn some attention, so we squatted down in hiding. Okay, if you're in the middle of a convenience store or supermarket and you draw attention because you start to freak out and some guy puts his hand over his mouth and tells you to be quiet, I'm pretty sure squatting to the ground is gonna make you look even more suspicious than if you were to just like, if he just lowered his hand and like, continued having like a regular conversation. Because if you do that, then it just looks like maybe you were about to say or do something embarrassing and like your friend was like, oh no, shut up. But then if you guys squat to the ground, that's just gonna make you look more suspicious. Or is that just me? Like, if I saw some random guy putting his hand over a girl's mouth and then they squatted down, I'd be like, what's going on over there? And then I'd go and check it out. Because that's who I am as a person. Or I'd watch from afar and be like, that seems sus. Gonna make sure that guy doesn't kidnap that girl. We crouched together next to that shelf, waiting until he could get away unnoticed. Looking at the bag of chips in my hand, I suddenly had to suppress a laugh. Bwaha. That's a weird-ass laugh. Sorry, I just saw you on huge screens and now we're squatting here like little kids. I can't help it. If I was still a little kid, I definitely wouldn't let you have the last bag of chips. He's slightly cocky. I appreciate that. I turned around and found Kira looking at the chips in my hand, seemingly not willing to give up. I now felt like I was in on some big secret, and my heart somehow beat faster. Oh my god, this has been going for so long. You really like this flavor of chips? Actually, I can't really recall. Since my career took off, I don't get to eat chips. Let idols eat chips. Like, they're mostly air. They're not that many calories. Like, live and let live. I just want to see the prize card inside. Everyone's collecting them, right? This boy's trying to lie out his ass right now. I held up the chips and saw the notice on the packaging about promotional Batman AR cards. Do they have licensing for this? Dude, Batman's copyrighted. Do they have the licensing to, like, legitimately put Batman and not censor that shit? Good for them. They're making money off this. I thought for a moment, opened the pack, and took out the card. We didn't pay for that yet! Pay for it! I hate when stores, when like shows and like games and stuff do that, because like nobody goes to a store and does that. Like, pay for it first. It's stealing until you've bought it. Pay for that stuff. Like, if you're trying one singular grape to make sure that the pack of grapes you're buying isn't like sour or something, you know what? I'll let that slide. I still don't like it, but I'll let it slide. But you don't open a bag of chips to take out a prize card before you've paid for it. Same with like when people open sodas before they pay for it at a store. Like, you are stealing the merchandise. Like, I don't care if you paid for it after. Like, that is illegal. Like, don't do that. Like, PSA, that is one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, don't do that. Like, if you want a drink, like, immediately, or you want the snacks immediately, go through checkout. Buy that. Get one of the stickers that says that you paid for it, and continue your shopping. Don't do things illegally like that. That's stupid and unnecessary. I hate when people do that. Take it.
Thanks.
Thanks. If we were kids, we'd already be best friends. Boy, you look like you're frickin' 12. Okay, no, he definitely has to be 18 at the least. I'm assuming he's probably like 20. 19 or 20, that's my guess. He gives off Yusung vibes. Oh no. What? I haven't paid for it yet. What did I say? I'm not gonna rant about it any further, but I just want to say, I was right. I've been pretty right about most of the decisions this girl should be making, but isn't.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Let's just pay up later. So sorry, ma'am. I'll buy 10 bags later. Sorry. Sorry. We looked at each other and burst out laughing. Remembering what he just said, I handed him a chip. Now that it's open, don't you want to have a try? Kira looked at me in surprise. One chip couldn't hurt, right? Literally, they're mostly air. Like, one bag of chip is like, what, maybe 160 calories? Like, you can afford one chip. It's not gonna break your diet. Kira hesitated for 2 seconds and then took the chip.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Do you like chips?
Do you like chips?
Stellar conversation. Yeah, I like chips. Yes, this is my favorite flavor.
You like this flavor?
You like this flavor? Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Is that pertinent information you need to have in your mind, sir? Because that kind of makes it seem like we're gonna meet again, and you're going to need to know my favorite type of chip. He looked into my eyes and let out a smile. Even though I know smiling at fans is his job, I couldn't help but feel my face get all flushed. Dude, if a hot guy smiled at me, like, my face would flush. Thanks. I have to go now. Next time we meet, I'll bring my favorite snack to share with you. When are we meeting, Kiro? Hey, wait a minute, Kiro. He turned back suddenly and drew very close. Shh. Yeah, we're not too smart about the whole celebrity thing. Sorry, I forgot again. I gathered my confidence and took out my business card. Actually, I'm a producer at... Our company's just named after us? Why? I don't like that. That seems weird. But okay, maybe we should have given ourselves a last name. We should have done Rissadia. That would have been a mouthful. But then we'd be RA Company. That sounds like... It sounds better than BS Company, let's be real. BS Entertainment. RA Company sounds better. I'm gonna refer to it as RA Company. Actually, I'm a producer at RA Company. I'd like to invite you to the last episode of Miracle Finder. We can pay you a lot. Is Miracle Finder ending? When I was a kid, I would wait in the front of the TV for it to come on every day. He's cute. I like him. He's sweet. He's a sweet boy. He's got that, like, golden retriever vibe to him. Solid. Yeah, we lost funding, so I want to end on a high note. Your fans say you have the superpower to make everyone fall in love with you. I think a Miracle Finder episode like that would definitely attract viewers, right? So wait, now I get to be one of the superhumans on Miracle Finder? But then what would I do? Stare at the audience and think, love me, love me? I'm assuming you could probably just do a performance. Maybe some singing or a performance? Or I was thinking maybe talk about how you come up with your songs and performances, about your creative process and how you do that love at first sight thing. As I prattle on about my thoughts for the show, I suddenly realize Kira has turned all quiet. What, you don't like this direction? Of course, it's just some preliminary ideas. My guess is, as an idol, he doesn't write his own songs and doesn't have much say over his performances. Oh, really? Okay. No, it's settled. I'll do it. Let's just go back and find my agent. Really? That's great. Then I thought of the agent's reply to me just then and fell into despair again. Actually, I just came from BS. And your agent already turned me down. Kira, who was so excited at first, fell into similar despair at hearing those words. I'm sure if you got the idol to be like, hey, I want to do this show, the agent would probably be more likely to let him do that show. Sorry, it's such a special show. I really want to be a part of it. But I don't really decide my schedule. There's no harm in trying. Even a big celebrity has moments of helplessness. Seeing Kiro's troubled expression, I felt I just had to comfort him. It's okay. I'm still gonna do all I can to make the last show great. Will you watch? Of course, I wouldn't miss it. And later, if you have other shows, will you invite me again to be on one of those? To a producer, such a question is like a gift from heaven. Of course, I'll have a thorough plan prepared. Oh, can I have your contact info? No problem. I'll be eagerly expecting your next invitation. For a big name celebrity, he's really just like giving us his info out here. You can count on it. No matter how Miracle Finder ends up, I will make a show that's worthy of Kiro's presence. Before that, I will draw Miracle Finder to a beautiful close for the audience, my colleagues, and my dad. You got Thanks. Variety drama. Who the hell names their kid Thanks? So, it does go into more, but we are already at like 45 minutes. So I think I'm going to end this here for now. Okay, so this was, I guess, technically like the prologue of Mr. Love's Queen choice. I wish it had more of like a prologue. Like, we only got to meet one of the guys, so that kind of sucks. I don't know how I feel. Like, I don't care when they put card systems into like otome games, like mobile otomes. Like, I get that it's a thing, but sometimes like I always feel like it just hits a point where no matter how good your cards is, like it really is a struggle. Like, I like how Cyber does it with like the Ikemen games. Those I think are done really well because then you're going against other people who have roughly the same amount of cards and they put you in brackets that are people with similar scores as you, and so it's a bit easier. Like, there are definitely ways that you can look and be like, oh, I can definitely beat this person versus, oh, I definitely can't beat this person. and so it gives you more of a fair chance. But when they're like this or like Obey Me, it really just depends on like how good your cards are. And sometimes that happens from like luck of the draw, which cards you get through like events and stuff, how much you have to like unlock certain things or like put into your cards to level them up. And that can be really hard to do if you don't pay for the game. And so I don't know if that's necessarily the case with this game. I definitely would have to play it more, but I know that like in Obey Me, I'm starting to get to the point where like I have a ton of UR cards that are leveled up super high, and I'm still needing to use extra things in order to beat each lesson. And so I'm kind of worried that this game is going to end up being the same way. Yet again, I don't know for certain. I do know that so far I don't like the protagonists. Like, I know I mention a lot that like Otome protagonists are stupid, and you honestly do have to 90% of the time take what they say and do with a grain of salt. But I do know that there are some where there are good protagonists. I don't think this one is shaping out to be a good protagonist, just based off of her decisions of storming off and not finishing her friend's phone call, storming into the CEO's building without like making an appointment, and essentially just quickening the pace of canceling their show, storming into the entertainment office trying to get a dude and not having like anything prepared to actually pitch said idea, to then just happenly like running into a celebrity repeatedly, almost giving away like who he was to the general public, and also opening a bag of chips before paying for it. I honestly think that's the most upsetting thing that's happened in this prologue. But I do kind of wish that they did have more of an actual prologue so that you could meet everybody, because I just went through the first essentially two small like story bits and two like game levels, and I've only met one of the guys. So like that's kind of sad that like this is a prologue playthrough. I've been playing for almost an hour at this point, and we've only met one guy with one mention of another. Victor, I do know, is the CEO, and he is, I believe, the one of the dateable characters. And so like that's kind of sad that like 50 minutes into this and we've only met one guy. Yeah, it is taking a bit longer because I am reading things to you and commenting on things, but it's still something that like is kind of sad that you guys don't get to meet more of the characters and I didn't get to meet more of the characters. So I do wish it did have more of a prologue instead of oh, we were almost in a car accident and got saved by some dude like 17 years ago, and now here we are with a failing business and we have to somehow make it work. Um so I do wish the prologue was a bit more of a prologue, or that like we got to at least kind of see the characters, like if like we even got to just see the CEO but had him just be like walking by, kind of like how we saw the advertisement of Kiro before we actually met Kiro. I think that would have been a much better way to do things. Because who knows how far we're going to have to wait to meet the other guys. And I believe that there are 4 or 5 guys. I think that there's 4 because they just show 4, but I think that they added another dude. But I could be wrong on that. Like I said, I really don't know much. I knew that there was an idol, and I knew that it was a blonde dude, and I knew that there's a rich CEO like Jumin Han, who apparently his name is Victor, and I believe that there's a dude named Lucian. And I think that there might be a flight, like pilot or attendant or something, but I could be wrong on that. That one might be a bit weird. I don't know about that one. But overall, I do really enjoy the art. I think the art is really good. That is one of the things I liked about this game before I started playing it. A lot of the times I will actually not play a game if I don't like its art style. So I do think that for an otome, this one does have a really good art style. But yeah, so far it's not bad. Definitely like have to play more and actually get to meet the guys. And I think it's one where it splits into routes. Where it kind of has like a general route and then it splits off, kind of like Mystic Messenger. But I'm also, yet again, not sure. So I will definitely have to play more of this. If it is the whole like split into separate routes, it might be a while before I actually make like a full review of this game, just because I will have to play at least half the routes, probably, if not like one or two, um, just to actually see what it is and get to know the characters a bit more to make it a more fair review. But I will probably start watching the anime. Um, I might do that before I like get super far in the game, just so I actually have a feel for the characters. And you know that the anime is going to give it like a basic route that touches on each of the guys' separate routes, but still sticks to like a basic storyline. But yeah, so this was Mr. Love's Queen Choice. Um, it's not bad. I can see the appeal of it. I definitely have to get more into like learning the mechanics, because I kind of like quickly like press through the game part of it. So I do need to like go through and like really learn that, and I have to meet the other guys. But it's not bad. I really do enjoy Kiro so far. I think he has a really nice personality, but I really do want to meet the other guys. So I guess we'll see how that goes. Thank you guys for joining me on the first Otomania of 2021. Yet again, sorry it's being released a bit later. This is just because like my family's been sick, so it's been really hard for me to find some time where I was feeling good enough to record and it was quiet enough around me to record. So this will probably be how the videos are for the next few days. But thank you guys for joining me and for supporting Otomania for another year. So, yes, thank you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I release more Otomania videos or just other fun videos on my channel. Leave a comment down below if you want to see more Otome games or certain Otome games if you have any recommendations. And I hope you guys all enjoy. Love you. Bye.